Help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content. All right, so it's time for another mock draft scenario. And in this one, I want to focus this mock draft on doing everything I can within reason to bolster the Browns offense. Now, to do this, I think we first need to have a quick conversation about just exactly what the philosophy is here, because you can't just blindly draft offensive players and think you're going to fix the Browns offense, right? You got to have a strategy. You got to have a focused plan of attack. What do you want to get better at, and how do you plan to get better at it? My theory to improve the Browns offense is we got to address the run game. The run game has to give this offense a higher floor than it gave it last year. Obviously, the Browns are still going to go out and try to upgrade the quarterback position from last year, which shouldn't be hard. But they're going to want to add a bigger floor to this team, right? Whether it's Kirk Cousins or anybody else playing quarterback for you in the future, you're going to want to have a stronger run game. So that's going to be one of the primary focuses, right? How do we get this to be a easier offense to operate in Cleveland and doing things that are only going to help that become a reality? Let's jump in. All right, let's jump into this. We're going to use Mock Draft Central's mock draft machine. I think that's probably the best and cleanest one out right now. And we're going to get started here. Let's continue to draft. We're not going to make any trades before this draft. We're going to run this one pretty much straight up. All right, so we're sitting at 2. This is an offensive focused draft. This is an obvious pick here. We go Travis Hunter. Why Travis Hunter? Well, Travis is the most talented, the highest ceiling on offense, I think, of any player in this draft class. All the things you cannot teach other than height and weight, right? Which he does not have in abundance, but he is about the same build as like a Devonta Smith when he came in, and he's been fine in the NFL, right? Or like a Marvin Harrison, not junior, but Marvin Harrison, the senior, right? Not a big guy. He was fine. He had these other skills that can help carry him. Travis, not the biggest guy in the world, but everything else you can't teach at the wide receiver position, he does at a significantly higher level than every other wide receiver here. Nobody can track the ball like him. Nobody has the automatic hands that he has. Nobody has the hand-eye coordination, the burst, the acceleration, the cat-like quickness that he has. You can comp him to a million different guys. He is very, very talented, right? He has that body control, body contortion ability. It's super important for a wide receiver, and he's the best 50-50 guy, 50-50 ball guy in the draft class. He has all those skills at the wide receiver position, and this is a position that was, kind of treated like an afterthought when he was at Colorado, right? Like, he didn't primarily practice with the wide receivers, and that seems like something he's very interested in doing. You want to supercharge your offense while also adding some value to the defensive side of the ball. Travis Hunter is the way to go here. And don't fall into the trap, right? People can easily fall into the trap of thinking, well, because he can play defense, that must discount what he is offensively, or vice versa. Because he can play offense, that must discount what he is on the other side of the ball as some kind of gimmick. And I see people fall into this trap all the time where they say, well, Travis really wouldn't be the number 1 wide receiver. I'm like, no, he would. If Travis just played wide receiver, he would have probably gotten more snaps on the offensive side of the ball at Colorado. He probably would have had like 1,800 receiving yards and won the Heisman. Like, he would have been the number 1 prospect in this class if he got the practice like a wide receiver, as a wide receiver. Same thing is true with defensive back. And think about it like this. I think he's the best wide receiver in this class, and he ain't had none of that. Like, he didn't get to practice full-time at wide receiver. And he's going up against guys who did practice full-time at wide receiver. The work ethic is there for Travis. This is somebody who has stated repeatedly all he likes to do is football and fish. That don't sound like a Cleveland Brown to you? Like, he only likes to do football and fish. Son, welcome to Cleveland. Oh, get him the hat right now. Because if you love football and fishing, you're going to love Cleveland. We got a big-ass lake, all kind of rivers. I don't know if you can really fish in them rivers no more. But, you know, we got a lot of water where you get a little boat. You can sit in, cast that line. Ask Joe Thomas where all the good fishing spots is. You'll have a blast if all you love is football and fishing, right? And for a team that wants to build on a culture and add guys to this locker room at key spots of the draft, you're the number 2 pick. You're going to be expected to become a locker room leader. You're going to be expected to become, emblematic of the culture that the Cleveland Browns are trying to build. And this dude, so far his career, has demonstrated that he is that, right? Like, Travis Hunter seems to fit everything that the Browns have been talking about, want to bring in. It's a pretty easy choice whether you want to add something to the offense or not. But yeah, let's go Travis Hunter here. All right, in and take Travis Hunter. I think it's a pretty easy decision here for the Cleveland Browns. Let's take Travis. Now let's look at the rest of the draft here. Let's pause it here. So we're sitting at the top 10, and we're going to see if one of the quarterbacks we like past 27 fall to 27 here, right? We expect one to be there. We're hoping the other might be there, right, to spice things up. All right, so we're looking at the board right now, and it's starting to get interesting, right? Travis is there. Well, Travis just went. Only one quarterback gone so far, and we've just gotten past 21, and no quarterback taken. So I'm going to try to see if we can get, if we get past Baltimore. I think that the Vikings are good on quarterback. The Houston Texans are good on quarterback. Now, the Rams could want to take a quarterback, right? Their guy's getting old in Matt Stafford. The Ravens not going to have an interest in quarterback. The Lions might have an interest in quarterback. Jared Goff is their guy. Maybe they don't want to give him that third contract. Who knows? Jaden Daniels, they're not going to draft the quarterback. 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 So the only real team I feel the need to get in front of is probably maybe Detroit, but I'm more worried about somebody else coming up more than anything. So we'll see what happens here. We'll play this out. But if we get to 32 and, Sanders is there or Milroe is there, we anticipate Milroe being there, we're going to make this trade up to 32 to address quarterback. All right. It looks like we're going to be able to make this happen. So let's make the trade here. So I got to wait. All right. So I got to wait till. All right. So they went Derek Harmon. All right. Let's make the trade. 32. And then the Browns will give you 33. And then all we really going to give up is a 7th round pick next year. We're moving one spot. Nobody cost anybody anything. You get an extra pick for your troubles. This is Andrew Berry dealing with somebody he's very familiar with. So let's make the move there for 32. We're on the clock now. And look, I like Jalen Milroe, but if Shedeur Sanders is there at 32, you got to do it, right? I think he is more likely to become a starting quarterback in the league than any other quarterback in this draft. I worry about what Shedeur's ceiling is going to look like in the NFL. It might end up being Tua, right? Like that might be the best that Shador could do. And it's important to remember the best that Tua could do was not Tua. But if the Browns can stabilize the quarterback position for a few years, and then also you have the added benefit of pairing him with somebody he's already familiar with Travis Hunter. So you make the move here, you take Shador Sanders, and that's how you end out the first round with Shador and Travis Hunter both on your team. All right, let's continue this draft and let's get to the third round. Let's speed this up. All right, so we're at pick 67 now. Let's see what's on the clock here. Jalen Milroe's still there. It's interesting. I might still take Jalen Milroe if he's there at like 90. Then I might take him in this scenario, right? You got to play the scenario. If Travion's here, I'm going Travion. No Travion. So running back gets pushed back. Jaden Higgins is there. Tight end wise, Harold Fainin. Center, no, nothing really there. Let's go tackle. Again, this draft is focusing on the offensive side of the ball. Now, I did say I want to improve the run game, right? So Milroe is an option here at 67. I don't really want Jaden Higgins. Maybe Harold Fainin makes sense here. It's between Harold Fainin, Jalen Milroe. Is there any running back that's, I mean, I like Cam, but like I don't want to take Cam at 67. Not in the Browns offense, too. It just doesn't fit right. Like DJ Giddens, you can get him at 93. He's a good fit. Trevor Etienne, you can get him at 93. He's a good fit. There's just better fits out there. Let's see. Not that I don't think that he's a good player. I do, but I just don't know if the Browns are the right place for him, which happens. Do I really want to go another wide receiver? I mean, we don't have a ton of wide receivers. Jaden Higgins, I'd rather go Jaden Higgins than Isaiah Bond for sure. There's a significant gap there. Yeah, let's go Higgins. Let's go Jaden Higgins here. All right, so we're sitting at 94. No quarterback there. All right, so we're just going to DJ Giddens. All right, pick 104. So let's look at what we've done so far. Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, Jaden Higgins, DJ Giddens. So we've been addressing the offense pretty heavily here. Realistically, they would probably go Kevin Winston here, but we're trying to focus on just building this offense right now, right? Building the best offense possible. I want to run the ball, and I want a really strong run tandem. I think DJ Giddens can be a special player, and I think Trevor Etienne can be a special player. So I think getting both of those guys, huge priority for me. Let's go do it. All right, so we got the running backs handled, wide receiver handled. We got two of those. We even got quarterback and Shador Sanders. Let's look at the offensive line a little bit here, right? Jalen Rivers is there. Here's the issue with offensive line. Nobody you draft to play offensive line is going to help you this year. All right, you draft Jalen Rivers, he's not going to help you this year because Wyatt and Joe Bitonio are going to start. Your tackle position is probably going to come down to DeJuan Jones and Tevin Jenkins. So I don't know where there's room to really draft an offensive lineman that you want to play. There's no real space for him unless you want to go center. And this is in a class where I think you're going to get a lot of guys who can walk on and play center for you. So let's look at tight end here. I don't think we've addressed tight end yet. Yeah, we haven't addressed tight end. We have ignored the position here. We need a tight end too. Jalen Colliers is there. Conyers is there. My bad. Let's take Jaden. All right, so we got tight end, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver. Let's see what else we can grab here. We're at pick 192. Any quarterbacks fall that I find interesting? No. All right, running backs, Rashad Smith. Jaden Blue, Taj Brooks. I'm going to keep my eye on LaQuint Allen, give him a chance to make the roster. Wide receivers, Rock Taylor. He played at Memphis, not Arizona. I don't know why that has that image there. We'll probably get Wester later on, too. Tight ends, Luke Lachey. You want to go Luke Lachey? Luke Lachey feels like the pick right now. Again. Yeah, let's go Luke Lachey. Boom. All right, so Luke Lachey. How many picks we got left? What, 2? We got 200. And then we got 254. All right, so maybe Vincent here makes sense, right? If he's still there. Yeah, Carson Vincent makes sense here. We've drafted enough wide receivers, and we've drafted enough running backs. So let's go Carson Vincent. That makes sense. All right. And then pick 216. Oh, Damian Martinez is still there. Let's take a flyer on him. All right. And then with 252, where's LaQuint Allen at? Or LeJontay Western? Yeah, let's go LeJontay because we took Deion's kid. All right. So LeJontay, and that is the all offense mock draft, right? This is an offensive draft. This is a draft that is focused on fixing the problems of the Browns offense, and a draft that hopefully solves a lot of the problems of the Browns offense for years to come. So here is the breakdown of what the Browns did in this mock draft scenario. Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders. So you got your hopefully franchise athlete in Travis Hunter, wide receiver cornerback combo. Then you pair him with his college quarterback in Shedeur Sanders with pick 32. All you had to do was give up a 7th round pick next year to make that happen because you're swapping one spot. Absolutely would be thrilled with that combo in the first round. Round 3, Jaden Higgins, DJ Gittens. So you get a big wide receiver to add more depth to that wide receiver room. You get DJ Gittens, a really good wide zone running back prospect with really good eyes here. You get Trevor Etienne, another prospect here who projects well in the wide zone. And in the 6th round, you got Busy. And I would be thrilled with this 6th round. Jalen Conyers, Luke Lachey, Carson Vincent, Damian Martinez, all guys I had graded a little bit higher than the 6th round. And then LeJontay Wester, who I also thought was like a more in line with like a 5th round pick, not a 7th round pick. But that's what you get here in this mock draft scenario where you go all offense. Now, who knows how the defense handles this, but you go all offense here. Let me know if you would feel better if you were a Browns fan, if the Browns went this direction. And this is what y'all let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.